a legend of a killer in the lake, buried but not dead. He is strong enough to break through the chain. Better run fast from the monster in the mask. Better run fast. Who is stronger in the end? There's a new blood. There's a new blood again, with a red eye. She will fight to the death, like a rose covered in blood. She'll crush all the demons. There's a new blood. There's a new blood again. Trapped inside this maze, in a distant memory.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the cast and, well, one crew at least, of Roseblood. You guys excited to see the premiere of this here in just a little bit? That's what I'm talking about. So, if you guys have a question for anyone up here, raise your hand. We'll come up there and talk to you and get your question.
VIP is first.
Oh, duh. VIPs first. I see somebody that wants to ask a question. Would you like to ask a question of somebody from the Roseblood cast?
Absolutely. When is this movie going to hit the movies?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Thank you, mother.
Thank you, son.
Hey, son, what's up with these mics? This on? What's up?
We are professionals. Do not try this at home.
Testing.
There it is. Mother, it's going to be on tomorrow, Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern to the whole world on YouTube.
Any other questions out there?
I got a question.
Oh, I see him. I'm sorry, man. You're sitting in the back, so VIPs first. What do you got, sir?
He is a VIP. What was the most exciting part making this movie?
Working with Kevin Smirtis.
For all of us that go down the line, all of us, or one of us?
Yeah, well, each
All of us. Go ahead.
So,
I'll honestly say Kevin Smirtis, reprising the role. It was a great opportunity to play in the new script and to have a reunion with Terry and Laura Parklington. And it's like no time had passed, just our hair color changed, except Lars. And that was it. You gave us a great script. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terry?
It's always fun for actors to act.
Yeah.
So to be part of this and Mr. Anthony's vision, to be able to help him create that and be part of it. As Kevin and Laura said, it's so good to be back with them again. So I hope it goes well. Let's see.
No pressure. No pressure.
I tell you, I have wanted to give a continuation of Tina's story since I was hauled away in the ambulance at the end of Part 7. And that's what excited me. As an actor, getting to go back and kind of complete and expand on a character is awesome. That can't happen too often. So that was my exciting part. It wasn't Spiritus.
Well, Spiritus goes without saying. But to be Jason and to have Lars, my final girl, I mean, that is like a dream come true. I mean, and Jessica too, of course. But I mean, you know, that's pretty amazing to sit there and be across the table from you and acting in this costume and just have that moment of, holy cow.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Sorry about your hand, dude.
So, Dad, the most amazing moment is, you know this, when I was sitting there and I wrote the script and the movie and we're sitting there and we're in the room and Laura comes in and I'm cool And Terry comes in, and I'm cool. And they sit down, I'm in the room, and they start to act, and I look, and they ask me for their line, and I'm like, I'm fucking directing them.
Wait, what did you say?
I said, I'm directing them. I can't believe what's going on right now. They're asking me for guidance. Yeah, and Cody knows this, Cody Newton knows this. I went over to him after the scene, and I hugged him, and I just couldn't believe as a child in your basement, you guys didn't know, when I was like 11, I would pretend to pee and then go downstairs and watch HBO and watch the horror movies. That this was happening, and when they were acting, and I just looked at them and I looked back, and it was just so much hard work. And at one point I went, this is amazing, I did this. And I couldn't believe it, and I just looked at them, and Laura asked me, what's my motivation? I'm like, this is your whole life,
I
Laura.
did not say what's my.
You did. Go with the story, Laura. Go with the story of being with Cody, right? So at that moment, I just couldn't believe that as a little child, being a horror fan, to my heroes being in my movie and writing it and making my family proud and everything. To me, that was just unbelievable. And everybody on this cast, from Sanaya to Jessica to Jason to all of them, making my dream come true was the most amazing moment in my life. Even if I have Alzheimer's, I won't not forget this moment in my life.
There were so many amazing moments. This was my first feature film as an actress. I'm very new, very green, very fresh. So it's just so special to me that every single person here, all way more experienced than me, put their trust in me to kind of help carry the storyline. Laura, I just gotta thank you for all your words of wisdom and just allowing me to play this character and to just be a part of the story was so incredible. And then also Sanaya, just working with you. She's young, but she's powerful. So yeah, I just appreciate everyone putting their trust in me, and what a cool story to be a part of. This is amazing.
For me, I think it would be, we had like the most amazing cast and crew on this set, and being able to like grow and bond with each and every one of them was just so exciting, and getting to know them, and I feel like we were truly a family by the end of this film, so.
And the catering.
Oh yeah, shout out to my mom.
All right, Thomas back.
Thomas back here has a question.
How many sleepless nights went into the making of this film, Pete?
To me? Yeah. How many sleepless nights?
How many sleepless?
So during the movie, as you know, Thomas,
Yeah.
I slept 18 hours in 8 days. Before that, between writing and producing and marketing and everything, I probably slept 3 hours a day. And I landed a new job with my boss, who's Rich is here, which is like my dream job of all time. And that I still was only doing the job, going home, sleeping maybe 3 hours, and then doing the movie for months and months and months and months after that. So sleepless hours is uncalled for. Even having a child, there's nothing that's ever compared to sleepless hours of it. And I hated it sometimes, and my family knows I was ornery and I got fat and I gained 50 pounds. And I didn't go on dates and I hated the way I looked and the way I acted, but it's the sacrifice you needed to make. And at the end of the day, when I look back and I see Jessica talk about this, and Sanaya and Laura and Kevin and Terry, it was all worth it. So sleepless nights equals victory.
Wonderful story about how I got the part. Because I'm up in Colorado, I have a little ranch up there. And I'm at Starbucks, and I'm in the line. I'd like a cappuccino, please, and a puppy-chino, please. Because I have my dog in the back. And I'm moving up to the window and my phone rings. I said, this is Peter Anthony. I said, who the hell are you? And how did you get this number? Well, Lauren told me about you, and I'm doing a movie. And they said, hold on a second. Yeah, it's Sam back here. Can I have my cappuccino, please, and my puppy-chino? And we're in line. Now, what do you want? I'm doing a movie. Yeah, so? Well, what do you want? I want you in it. Why? What are you doing? And we literally had a conversation in the Starbucks parking lot while I'm feeding my dog a puppy-chino, and I'm drinking my cappuccino, And I think we made a deal right there at Starbucks. So God bless Starbucks, Peter.
And consequentially, Terry has changed his phone number like 6 times since then. So you had a question now.
Okay. I already know the answer to this question, but I want everybody to hear it because I think it's amazing. How long did it take you to make this movie?
Should I answer first?
How long?
As far as me, within 110 days, I had an idea. I called this guy, I called another buddy. They said yes. Within that moment, I wrote the script. I sent it to Laura. Laura agreed. Laura got Kevin. Laura got Terry. In 110 days, we wrote the script, had the idea, and filmed the whole movie.
It's amazing.
Any questions?
Wait.
I
Just wait a second.
What?
Pass the mic down.
Oh my gosh. Never, I lost the timing. I was going to say, when Peter called me, I thought he was asking me for a date. No, Peter, he presented it as a great story. And I think, like Laura said, it was great to revisit these characters. And not unlike our kiss in the woods, I got to kiss Laura Park Lincoln once again. Oh, that was not in the movie. That was just coming around the second.
Just another Tuesday. We have Laura Lee up here.
Okay, so a true artist goes through a lot of trials and tribulations. So I want to know what Peter has gone through that was the breaking point for him to break him to this point.
Trying to make me cry? So many breaking points. Like 3 or 4 years ago, I was a different person. I was a badass. I was a mean person. I was an alpha male. I was mean. I was aggressive. I was not the person you wanted to bring home. Then I met this gentleman right here. And then I met Sean Lutis. And I worked on Vengeance. And we grew and we grew and we grew. And then I got Bryson in my life. And I shared it with Sean and I shared it with Jason. And we grew and we grew and we grew. And then my family just accepted me for all my sacrifices. So there's so many sacrifices. From me being just a cocky, a-hole bodybuilder guy to accept gaining 60 pounds, being fat, not caring, and giving my whole existence to them and all their existence. And promoting all them was the biggest change in my life. It was the most humbling change in my life. To have friends that I know accept me and confide in me and let me be who I wanted to be and accept me for being different was the most amazing thing in my whole life. There's 2 different changes in my life. When I got hurt from football till now, I thought I was more of a man, but I wasn't. It's just when I met people like this that were humble, that confided in me and gave me the power to make their dreams come true, that humbled me existed totally. So that's the thing. I think in the 3 years of Sean and Jason and Vengeance and Rosebud and all them, I've changed so much as a man that I never thought I would until I met them. So they've all made me a better person.
This is turning into an episode of Dr. Phil, and I love it. You guys are amazing. Come on, stand up.
This question is for Peter. Do you think that this movie, this story, could actually become an official part of the Friday the 13th universe?
So as any fan film would probably hope, every fan film ever, so Vengeance, Jason knows this, and Jason's dream, that we all wish that our fan films would become canon. That's what you're asking, right? Canon, like part of the Friday the 13th lore. That's the hope and dream as a child. From now till then, that's what I hope. I hope that people accept it as canon. Do I expect it? No. Do I want people to want the Friday the 13th universe and just accept that better than the fan films? Yes, because that's how I am. But would I accept them and be honored by them accepting our films and what we do in our art as part of the lore? Yes, 100%. That's what we do it for, but I don't expect it. But if anybody, one person, says that, hey, I accept your film as Lord, then I did good.
That's a great question.
It's a good thing Sean Cunningham's lawyers are kind of busy right now, so we don't have to worry about that. We got another question. How about a question for somebody else other than Peter? I mean, Jesus Christ. I understand his family's here and everything, but come on, give the man a break.
We're good, we're done with them.
You're good? You need a break, man. Have another scotch. Never mind, Brian.
Somebody get him a scotch.
This is Spartan. This is actually for Terry. You did a film with Chuck Norris called Forest Warrior. My dad did a film with Chuck Norris in 1989 called Delta Force 2. So, and my dad's a huge history buff. Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett. He gave Chuck Norris the idea of Forest Warrior. He said, you should do a film where you're playing a mountain man. And Chuck Norris was like, it's a good idea. So a few years later, Forest Warrior come along. So, and you was in it, you was the main bad guy in that, so.
Bad News Cruise.
Bad News Cruise.
I didn't know that, Terry.
Yeah, Chuck Norris became a friend, also Aaron Norris, who directed it.
Yeah, so he directed my dad too, Aaron Norris.
Gotcha. And it turned out a wonderful film. In other words, that was a film about, he was kind of a flashback of King of the Mountains and stuff, and he could turn into an eagle, he could turn into a lion, he could turn into a mountain lion, he could turn into a bear. And I remember on the set, because I was the bad guy, of course, and I was trying to tear down this forest, and he was trying to save it. And they brought this bear on the set. And I mean, it was a bear. And they said, okay, now when this bear gets up on the sign like, everybody don't move. Everybody be still and stuff like this. Now, Terry, I want you, as soon as that bear gets up, I want you to run over and get on. I said, wait a minute, you just said nobody move here. What's going on? The whole movie, it's a wonderful movie. You know, it should be seen more. And I thank your participation as far as what you're saying in the family and stuff like that, and how this turned out. And Chuck and Aaron are good people, and I was, glad to be part of that.
Which my dad's a black belt in martial arts, so of course Chuck Norris is. So them two bonded on set. They became friends, and so Dad taught me. I got my black belt too. So
bravo. Thank you.
Don't mess with this family. Another question.
Yeah, Bill.
For the original cast, when did you start to feel the groundswell, the Friday the 13th fandom, the love for what you built back then come back around?
You guys. Hello.
I'd just like to note this for the record, I'm not in control of the mics.
I don't know if you were there in person. I know you were in Texas. But at the 30th anniversary of Part 7, John Beekler organized for Friday the 13th, Part 7 to show at Mann's Chinese Theater, which is where we had, where we originally had premiered. It wasn't until that time that I realized the impact, because we had a lot of the cast show up, and Billy Butler and I sat back, and John Beekler was just maybe getting a little sick at the time. We lost him to cancer a couple years ago, but it was really a remarkable moment to go, oh, I'm in that, and we became that. And I still look good in my Daisy Duke shorts, so that's how I was just going to say.
It was an honor. It was an honor. And here it's just elevated.
I think I was invited to a convention appearance, but I'd never seen one. So that was really fun, getting to meet all the fans after so much time. That's when I started feeling like it was continuing again. Super fun.
I have a quick question for Laura and Jessica. How did Tina's hair go from the frizzy blonde into part 7 to the straight locks? Yes, I want this. To the straight locks and Rosebud.
Well, our hair and makeup crew, oh God, I mean, we were working with a monster in the middle of a swamp, and I honestly didn't want Tina to look put together. I wanted her to look like that, literally like she did, like she wasn't paying attention to herself. She was so mentally challenged, and so we brought Jessica on. Her hair is very different, actually. It's not the way it looks in the film, and we figured out how to give her a long bangs and color it, make her look a little bit more like it, and she was a champ for doing that to her hair, and it looked good.
Anything to add?
Real quick, Jessica called me one day. I told Laura the story. She goes, Laura called me. I go, awesome. She told me where to go to get a haircut. I go, that's cool. She goes, where? She goes, oh, New York. I go, how does it go? She goes, it's good. I just need to get this certain haircut. I go, okay, I'll pay you. How much is it? She goes, oh, $395. It's $395? She goes, yeah. I go, that's the genesis of that.
Budget.
Yeah, I mean, again, talk about people putting trust in someone. I had very dark hair when I auditioned for the role. I was also new to auditioning, and most times when you audition, you have a ring light. I didn't have the proper lighting, so you couldn't really tell that my eyes were blue. So Peter somehow sees this audition video and is like, yeah, okay. Bops it around and dyed my hair. They got to see my blue eyes, they matched. So it all worked out all right.
Another question out here then? And right here. Oh, come on, stand up. Don't be shy.
This is for Jason and Peter. As you know, a lot of horror movies, especially Friday the 13th franchise, are judged based on the fantastic, gory kills. About how long did you have to sit down and discuss how you're going to kill your fantastic cast?
Well, for this one, Peter wrote the kills. And so I just got to read the script, and that went pretty quick for me. I just got to sit there and think about how I'm going to do it, and how it came to it being, trying to imitate King's version of Jason for this one being a part 7. So a little bit of time went into that, but yeah, this one was pretty quick, and I just kind of read through it like, oh, that's fun, oh, that's fun. I can't wait to do that one, and oh, that's going to be a good time. And yeah, but behind the scenes, getting ready to prepare for them, that's the big part, getting people, in there like Amos effects and things to come in and make it all happen. A lot of people come in to make me look good, so. Wait a minute, tell them how blood spilled on certain.
That's right.
Oh, so much blood.
There was blood spilling.
There was a lot of blood spilling. And then I drug Terry around with some sunglasses for a while, because, spoiler alert.
Excellent question. So as Jason knows this, and a bunch of people in the room know this, like I was the genesis of every kill, right? So I would write them. So I would get with Jason, I would write every kill, and I'd write the past team kills, and I'd write the Jason kills, and I would get with them, and then this is what I want to do, and this is how big it should be, and then I landed Amos effects, and those guys are awesome. And I said, hey, this is what I want to do. I want this hand to be like this. I want these bones to be like this. I want this guy's throat to be ripped out like this. I want this and this. Can you do it? And every day they said yes. He said, well, we need this and this. Okay, PayPal, check it. You got $300. Yeah, but we need this and this. PayPal, check it. You got $500. And we just kept going and going and going. Then I got with Jason, and Jason's super humble, not like me. And and everything that we didn't do or didn't know of, he could do in 1 hour. 1 hour. Your whole life, you could try to do one kill, and he could do it in 1 hour. So he could make, between Amos effects and him, they did everything that I needed to do. And even as crazy it is, face rip-off, you'll see it. This, that, body parts, bones, whatever, it was done within a couple hours while we're on set. So I tell everybody all the time, I don't have the talent. I'm just very motivated. He has talent. They have talent. They all have talent. I'm just good at pushing buttons, and their talent makes my dreams come true.
And you push the buttons.
Jason, by the way, is a professional. Do not try and pull someone's face off at home for under an hour.
Very good. Yeah, give it up for Jason and Amos effects on the special effects video. If you haven't gone by and checked their table out, go buy a body part. They're cheap body parts over there. Any other questions? Are you waving at somebody, or I'm just going to harass you now. Any other questions? You? win.
Hey, my question's for Jason too, and I'm a huge fan of Part 7 a lot, well, like a huge Jason fan in general. My whole house was decked in pride with everything. My question to Jason is, how did you mentally prepare to fill the shoes of probably the greatest guy in the world, King Hunt?
Yeah.
Great question.
So I have nothing but respect for Kane, and I knew that going into it, I had to show nothing but respect. And I know that Kane fans are Kane fans, and it's like there's no other alternative. Once you put those shoes on, they're big shoes to fill, and you got to do it right. Because if you don't do it right, the fans are going to hate you. So I went in and I did the same thing I did for Vengeance when I was preparing for that one. I went and watched all of Kane's movies again. I watched the interviews to kind of like get into his mindset of like when he is doing a film, what's going through his mind? How does he do it? Because I'm not doing the same exact kills he did. I'm not going to mimic every movement he's done, but I want to get in his mind. So how would he move in this scene? And because it was important to portray Kane as Jason, not just portraying Jason. So did that, and then I have this guy here who's a massive Kane fan, and he doesn't want to see it done wrong either. So if I did slip or I get back into my own kind of Vengeance Jason or my own natural thing, he's like, no, let's do that again, and we got to do it because Kane would do this movement, and it's like, okay, thank you. And sometimes we do it multiple times until we got it right, and I was grateful for him saying that because I want to do it right, you know, and I want to pay that respect to Kane. I want to pay respect to the fans. So it was important to me to make sure that I portrayed this correctly in this film.
If I can elaborate on that, Jason Brooks is obviously one of my best friends of all time. We've become one of my best friends in the last 3 years, from highs and lows to loss of my stepson to just life. Yeah, to the loss of some of my best friends in my life. Jason has become one of my best friends. So I'm a huge Kane fan, like huge. Me and him are friends. We have dinner, we hang out, we talk, we send texts. We're friends. So Jason knows how it is. And it's different than Vengeance. And I never even said nothing to him. He just knew what he had to do, and he did his studies, and he watched it, whatever. Maybe two or three times in the movie at one time, and he took it like a weed eater and he like put it on there. Sean Lutz's table, and he slams it down. Like he puts it down, he's like, and then he grabs the thing. I go, no. I go, Kane would slam it and then rip it. I'm like, that's what you got to do. He's like, yeah. And we got excited. So like between me and him, he knows how it is. We got to that level where Kane had to be, because it sounds kind of asshole-ish, but Kane is a legend. He's my friend, and then Friday the 13th, he's a lord. And I don't care if Jason gets mad at me, he doesn't care if I get mad at him. We need to get that perfect. And 99% of the time, he had it right, he knew it. We had to get it right for the fans. So the fans, with Kane fans, they'll call you out if you don't get it right.
I just didn't want to ruin the desk. Sean's desk. So I was like, oh, I don't want to slam this kind of blade down the desk. And he's like, I don't care, do it. All right, Pete said it's fine.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
All right, we got Brian over here with a question.
This question is for Sanaya. So from your perspective, there's a lot of young people as well in the audience, a lot of young people that look up to maybe the role that you're about to play. Can you walk us through your journey as far as how that came into fruition, how you got involved, and just summarize like your overall experience getting to work with some of these amazing people that you have next to you?
Wow, that's a loaded question.
Great question. Great question, Brian. That's an amazing question.
Well, you know, being so young, it is a little bit odd sometimes being around, like, you know, people that are,
Old people.
you know, I'm just gonna never mind. But yeah, I mean, obviously they act as such a good role model for me, which is just an honor for me to be able to, like, I remember talking outside with Terry and talking with Laura and everybody and getting the advice from them. It's just, I mean, it's like kind of crazy, and I feel so grateful to have those opportunities from this film. And yeah, I mean, my parents are my biggest supporters, and they help me, and my aunt and my dad, they're always marketing me, and then people like Peter and Jason, they give me these amazing opportunities. So, I mean, yeah.
And piggybacking off that question, Was the process any different for Rose and your character development with her than it was with Ashley Jarvis in Vengeance? And can you explain the differences?
For sure. I mean, they're two different people, you know, like one is definitely a hero, Ashley, she's, you know, Tommy Jarvis's daughter, so you kind of have to emulate him in a way. And but then Rose, I mean, she's just a powerhouse, man. She's got an attitude, that's for sure. And then, of course, it's fun because in both I do kind of get to act off of like another female lead. In Vengeance, it was Kelly, and in Roseblood, it's Jessica. And both amazing, amazing actresses and people in general. So I love them both so much. But yeah.
Susan, when we talked, it was wonderful at that age and stuff, which I pass on. I said to her, you got a lucky draw. You got a lucky draw. Now don't comment on it. Learn how to act. And I think that's the best advice you can give anybody, I think, in any craft. Don't comment on yourself, but just let that happen and be, because you got a lucky draw. And then find the acting or whatever craft you're working with past that. So, keep going, Yogi.
Hi, this question is for Peter, and I just would like to know what does Friday the 13th Part 7 mean to you, and how did that influence you to create this project?
What a great question. And go! Yeah, so growing up a huge Friday the 13th fan, such a great question. So I'm not gonna lie, I always told everybody of all time, like the first 1 through 4 was always my favorite, and 4 was always my favorite. But me, being an a-hole alpha male, Part 7 was the shit. And Kane Hodder was the man. He was jacked, he was evil, he was mean, and he embodied everything it meant being alpha and dominant and evil and badass. When I was little, it was my mom, I told my mom and dad, me and Brian Kelly, and to watch Mac and Me. Said, hey mom, we're going to movies, Mac and Me's on the Branford theaters. Oh, what time is it? 6:15? Yeah, no problem. Meanwhile, Friday the 13th Part 7 was 6:30. So we would go to Mac and Me, buy the tickets, sneak out, and go to Part 7. So Part 7 in my life, there is no bigger badass. There is no better. There is no better stuntman of all time. There's no Jason better look of all time. There's no better stunts ever done of all time than Kane Hodder. And Kane Hodder's become one of my best friends ever and been a supporter of me forever. So the fact that when people said to me, what movie do you want to make? It was always 7. It was never anything else but 7. And then calling Laura and having her say, I'll do it, and then Kevin, and then Terry, it's just a dream come true. It made my dream come true. Even though I'm not that a-hole I used to be, maybe like a third, it still solidified what I needed and what I always wanted. So Part 7 to me was always the movie. If you ever could have asked me of all time what I wanted to do, it would always be Part 7. So thank you for asking that question.
Now I want to interview your parents and see how big of an asshole you were. Maybe later, maybe later.
You don't have to ask that.
Okay, we got time for just a couple more questions. Anybody out there got something?
10 minutes. You got something.
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I already asked a couple. I've sprinkled in a couple more. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here comes a question.
Pete, I want you to give credit to Sean and how much he's helped you over the years.
It was going to be in my speech, Dad. But
Okay.
yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah. So
Everyone in the crowd doesn't understand how this goes. So you have an idea and you're a fan, and it doesn't come to fruition unless you have an executive producer or somebody that wants to believe in your dream. And this man and me had a dream way back when it was Vengeance, and he brought me to Sean and his family and Tammy and Sanaya, and Sean funded that dream and believed in the dream and supported us. We became great friends. I'm trying not to cry. And kept supporting us through Vengeance and Roseblood and whatever. So Sean has become one of my best friends. And in a world where 5 of my best friends died in 1 year, and my
stepson was taken from me, Sean became my best friend, and Jason became my best friend. And they supported me and believed in me. And when you go to make a movie like Roseblood, and Sean goes, hey, I'll build a building for you. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, you have this shack. He goes, no, I'll build a $200,000 building for you. And I'll make it for you, and we'll make your dream, we'll make everything happen. It's such an honor and pressure at the same time. I could live 100 lifetimes and not have the best friends that I have as in Sean and Tammy and Sanaya and Jason.
I want to piggyback on that. Sean, and my involvement with this gentleman is brand new, but I think it always starts at the top. And Sean, every phone call, every email set such a precedent of kindness and understanding and provision. So anybody who can get Sean on his team to provide and to oversee is already a winner. So congratulations. Thanks for having me.
I have just a quick another question for Peter. Very simple. How nervous were you the very first time you were going to call up Lar to ask her to be in the film? How long did you pace around waiting to call?
I called John and Jason and everybody. There's a gentleman named John Wood. You know John Wood, drove the pictures and everything, yeah. He's like, I can hook you up with Laura. You can? Because you try to hit her on Facebook or something, it's just, you're one of 1,000. And my buddy, this guy John Wood, who was a big fan of Laura, said, I can hook you up with Laura. I'm like, can you? Because it was just a little dream. And then he's like, hook you up, so whatever. So then I emailed Laura, and Laura's like, oh, I'm interested. I have a phone call. So I hit up Sean, hit up Jason, like, hey, call Laura tonight, 8 p.m. If you know me, I get super excited, right? I'm like, oh, no, you guys know, like, let me know. I'm like, hey, no. So then I called Laura, and I didn't have a script. Laura knows this, I didn't have a script for her. So I go, Laura, why don't you be in my movie? She goes, okay, cool, what happens? I go, I don't know, I'm not ready for it. What do you mean? She's like, oh, okay, why are you there? Fuck. So I called Sean, I called Jason, I go, I messed up, man. I go, I had the opportunity, I know what I'm doing. They go, fix it. I go, okay. So I sat down and I wrote her part for like 2 days, and I called her back, I go, Laura, here's your part. She goes, I'm in. I go, okay, cool. All of a sudden, I called Jason, I go, Jason, I go, that's why we got Laura. He goes, what? I call Sean, I go, Sean, that's why we got Laura. And then all of a sudden from there, it rolled to Terry and Kevin and the whole dream, just that one little thing. So I can't thank Laura enough. Laura is the precipice and genesis of my whole dream coming true.
So when you do call, you're like, I'm going to call Laura and everything like that, and I know you can do it. I know because you're really good, you're a good salesman and everything, and so like the best. And so when I'm like, oh, you got it, no problem. And you call me like, seemed good, but I think I lost it. I didn't have the script and the story. How do I do this? Like, this is all in the past. What do we do? And I'm like, well, here's an idea. How it can be and stuff. And we start talking about it, like, they start typing immediately, and then the next day, I got a story, I got this, what do you think? And I'm calling her, and yeah, as soon as we got it all solidified, I was like, I always had faith in you, I mean, you can pull it off. Yeah. But then it's like, I had my own moment of, oh, crap, we got Laura.
Yeah, it's like, up a little bit.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, Peter is a good salesman. Just from last night, I have a trunk full of Avon products now, but I don't know what I'm going to do. Blew me away. But it made me an offer I couldn't refuse. All right, we got time to be here. Oh, are you waving again? Oh, okay, yes.
So this is for Pete. So how did you manage to juggle your work, full-time work here, and then the acting and directing?
Good question. My boss Rich is somewhere over here. It was tough. It was tough. So I just, my dream job, I had the interview at the same time that my dream job was. And they know this. And Jason had his dream job filled like right before that. So it was really tough. I remember flying to Chicago and learning my craft. I went to my job and I learned 1 week of that. From Chicago, I flew to Seattle with Sean when the skit didn't show up, Sean, and came to his house and tried to set up a movie. Then flew back to Chicago, learned another week of my craft, then flew back to Connecticut, then flew back to Seattle to shoot the movie. So it was it was not good. It was like literally the worst
part of my life ever because I was so mean to everybody around me. And I was just so tired and so upset and so downtrodden, but I knew I could just get through that. So people don't realize it, and I don't mean to sound like a victim, but those times, those things you have to sacrifice to your life. I mean, I was sleeping 2 hours a day for 30 days. You know, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, no sleep. And their Seattle time, and I would hit them up and just work on things and get fat and not go on dates and not see my family and just sacrifice a whole bunch of your life to make certain things happen. Not for me, for them, because it was more important than me. So it was a huge sacrifice. And at times, Cody Newton knows this, I would question myself, am I doing the right thing? Am I not seeing my family enough? Is it not right? But it was. And this is the moment. And in a couple of minutes, it'll all come to fruition, hopefully.
Yeah. Quick question for Laura. Was there any discussion at all for you to come back for Jason Takes Manhattan?
Yeah, part 8, right? Yes, there was. They did offer me part 8 at the time, but they wouldn't give me a script. Wait, neither did you. And the normal pattern was to bring back a final girl and then kill her right in the beginning of the next show. And I didn't want Tina to die. I thought she was way cool. And at that point in my career, it was more money than I ever thought I'd ever see. And my agents and managers would all sit down and I said, I don't want to kill her, I want to wait. And that's what happened. So they went off in a different direction and I waited.
Until Peter came.
And we got this.
I have one more question, but I want to say thanks to you guys for coming out to this, and give it up one more time for the Cast Rose Club. And Peter, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you. You got time for 2 more questions? 2 minutes. 2 minutes? Okay, it's a short question. All right. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you this because I feel like you're the lucky Buddha in the room. Can I rub your head?
Yes.
All right. Everybody up here rub his head. Get some love before the show. Guys, stick around for the premiere of Rosebud coming up in just a moment. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thanks everybody to DCS Death Care Society for hosting this. Death Trunk right here, Redcranke, and everybody else. I'm trying to be short and sweet. This entire movie couldn't happen from you to everybody to the back, to the right, to all the way back, to the front. I'm blessed with amazing family and friends. Because people can have dreams, but it doesn't come true without the support of everybody. I can't thank Laura Park Lincoln enough. She's the one that believed in my vision. She's the one that got Terry on board and Kevin on board and backed me up. I can't thank my parents enough for putting up with me for being an ornery fat bastard the last 8 months. All my friends, I have friends from Florida, from Miami, from everywhere around that came and supported us. It's beyond belief. This doesn't happen without you. I thank you to Jason and Sean, these guys, brothers. You meet people in your life that make you better, and these two have made me a way better person than ever. If I didn't meet them, I would still be the same old person, but with them, I grew. And just all your fans, and Joe Caban, and Cody Newton for producing, and Ryan, and all the actors from Jason to Jessica to Sanaya, and everybody in here. It's amazing. And last but not least, this movie doesn't happen, and Vengeance doesn't happen without this family right here, the Lucis family. Sean and Sanaya and Tammy, everybody stand up. They're the supporters of this movie. This is what happens. This is their dream. This is Lucis' dream. Thank you. We have after hours, the address is at the front, there's little cards, you want to go, it's Capone's on Route 80, we're going to get fucked up. So, thank you very much, everybody.